Night Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
You're going to want to hear this.
Jerry's percentages.
I don't love being commissioner as much as I used to. I actually love it even more.
That's the voice of a
Hall of Famer.
Are you kidding? Have you been out drinking?
You're all pigeons. Filthy, filthy pigeons.
It's Jerry. Gerry.
All right, Jerry's percentages. I'm sure Jerry's been a busy guy lately. Very happy that the NHL is back and up and running here. And I'm sure he's paying attention to a lot of different things going on in the sports world. So it's a big one tonight. We got Ray coming up. We got Tim Kirkjian coming up. So Jerry moving around a little bit. Let's get to it. Let's hear from Jerry.
Jerry's popping popcorn watching the Blue Jays flame out of the playoffs. Almost as much fun as watching the Canadian teams choke in the Stanley Cup playoffs every year.
Okay.
Come on, Jerry.
What a loser. Such a hater. It's 2-0 Seattle. Series isn't over. Let's go, Jerry. You're such a funny guy. What else do you have for us?
Vladdy Jr. better get the memo that the Yankees pitchers aren't throwing him meatballs anymore. So a 2-hit minimum is the bar Jerry is setting for him tonight.
2 hits for Vladdy. 2 hits plus for Vladdy tonight.
You guys heard what my guy Peter Apple said.
You gotta hit him
Peter
in the ground.
Apple laid it on the line. I'm going to go 30%. It's just hard to be confident after what you watched 2 games in Toronto. It's awfully hard to be confident, even with what he did against the Yankees. I'm going 25%.
You said 30.
30%.
Peter Apple's got him all.
Yeah.
You're all messed up, man. Pete Apple.
I'm ignoring what Peter Apple said.
Yeah, forget Pete Apple.
And I'm going 51%. I believe in it. Over 50%.
Really? 1% over? That means you believe in it? I don't think so.
Well, it's more than 30 or 25 or whatever you were saying. I'm twice that amount. I believe that Vladdy, you said hits. All he needs to do, if he's hitting him into the ground, maybe it gets past the shortstop or the third baseman. Like, to me, give me a couple hits, Vladdy.
Yep.
Give me a couple.
Couple Roger Doran CNI shots through the infield. I'm going 100%.
Ooh.
100% that Vladdy Jr. steps up tonight.
Wow.
He has to. He has to. And I'm going to go a step further and say he's going to hit in the first inning tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if it's for extra bases, okay? Because that's what has to happen this evening. You want to really start the party, you want to send a message to Seattle, you got to put runs on the board immediately. And Bieber's got to go out there and pitch a clean sheet and then settle into the game. And settle into a 3-game series in Seattle. And that's what it's going to be. Get comfortable out there. But I think Vladdy, he'll show up tonight. Again, he still hasn't struck out. It doesn't win you anything. Doesn't mean he doesn't have a hit. So it doesn't mean anything. But he's not up there just looking like a complete buffoon. Like he's not flummoxed by the pitching.
Yeah.
He's just not quite connecting on them. I think he breaks out tonight.
I don't know what it is. Like, I generally kind of like to be positive, but I have just a terrible feeling. Like, that place is going to be...
It'll be rocking.
Yeah, it'll be
very
rocking,
difficult.
man.
It's
and
very
I
tough.
don't know. Bieber concerned me, what I saw. It's just like, to think of him doing what we talked about in the last segment, like being dialed in and going some kind of distance where there's some oomph to it as far as innings. I don't know. I'm just, when I put everything together, I just don't have a good feeling.
Well, I am concerned about one thing. Did I read this? Maybe I'm wrong, but was it one of the worst, we'll call it umped games? Like there was
Dougie
some,
Eddings, yeah. Doug
it
is
was
not everyone's favorite. It wasn't like one of the all-time worst.
But don't they apparently they released the
stats
analytics.
on it,
yeah, the stats, and he missed a lot. Like it was not good on both sides, though. Both sides,
right?
Not just
goes around, comes around. I think his accuracy rate was like 92% or something, which is a decent chunk. You know, that's like 1 in 10 pitches.
Yeah, it's
Doug
not
Eddings
Leslie
has
Nielsen.
no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, that's a big part of it, man. The human element, which I love and I advocate for it. You get the ump behind the plate that just doesn't see eye to eye with whoever's on the mound or whatever it is. That can have a huge impact on the game.
Massive effect.
Massive effect.
Yeah.
But to my knowledge, Doug Eddings will not be behind the plate tonight. All right, moving on here. What else do we have, Jerry?
Both Kachuk brothers will play in the Olympics and have a big impact in the tournament. They'll be fighting off the face-off again and beating up Euros and different people around the world.
They do that, then we get sent home. The IOC doesn't play that. IHF don't play that. Both of them there, but more importantly, big impact, both of them on the tournament.
I don't even know if Matthew, will he be healthy by then?
Yeah, I think that's the target, isn't
They're
it?
hoping he will be.
I'm
And
gonna
Brady
say,
should
like,
be.
I'm going to say 45% just on health because, I don't know, it just seems unlikely that both of them can get healthy and be dialed in and contribute to the team with what they got going on. Matthew is a big question mark. What is he having, like a hip or something? Or
Yeah, well,
he's got something serious.
Did you see they lost, now Florida lost Kulikov for 5 months. That's why they grabbed Sabrango off of waivers from Ottawa.
Right.
Like there is an element of like Florida still resting and making sure everybody's kind of healthy. I think I'm 95% sure that both of them will play and be impactful. My whole thing though is this, and I'm in the minority when it comes to it. These guys both, now Matthews won back-to-back cups. Brady's team has to take another step this year. That's their goal, right? Every team that has got players that are going to the Olympics, the focus should be the players that team that they're coming from, that's paying them $1 zillion. Like, that's where, everybody's like, oh, well, what about, you got to make sure the Olympics are protected. How about you make sure your organization's fine first? Like, that's I'm in the minority when it comes to it, but I get frustrated when it's like, oh, well,
Noodles,
make
you
sure
saw
he's
the
good
Four
for the
Nations.
Olympics.
They were doing anything to play in that.
I know. And then you look at there's injuries coming out of there or guys like struggling. Kachuk got hurt in the Four Nations and they had to shut him down.
What about McAvoy? McAvoy was like pissed on
Done
how
for
that
the
was.
year.
Yeah.
That's
Pissed at everyone there.
Yeah.
You're right, but I guess my point is you still have to take care of your own organization that needs you, that needs those points. But I think
that's why I'm
95%.
low on this. Like, I'm not convinced. They're both of them are going to get there. I think another question is what kind of form they're in, and it's going to be a different style of play, man. I keep saying this. This is not NHL rules. There's no fights off the draw. You're not like some of the hits Brady Kachuk threw in the Four Nations. He will get a 5 in a game over there. Like they throw guys out for looking at someone the wrong way.
That's true. It's a
They will
softer.
be
Him and his brother
Rumours.
were like WWE in the corners with those hits. Like they were just both jumping in
brothers.
the air and
Yes.
crushing guys.
Exactly, and it was amazing. But it doesn't play that way in the Olympics.
You're so right. Like I remember playing in Japan and Tyson Nash hit a guy so hard his helmet went 20 feet in the air. It was a clean hit. The ref blew it down. Nobody knew what to do. They gave him a penalty for hitting the guy too hard.
Yeah.
Can you
Didn't know what to
imagine
do.
some referee, like just some smaller referee from a smaller country,
Europe.
getting a load of those too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
they would think that he would think that's just the Hanson brothers. It's Slapshot. Like
Right.
it would just be
It would
fascinating.
be crazy. You're right. Like some guy who's from Slovakia or something, and
Never, like, just doesn't really know, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden his eyeballs are popping out of his head in the first period, just watching them crush
them
people.
chew on their mouth guard and destroy people.
Exactly.
25% for me.
Wow.
I'm low on both fronts, like the health and the concern on that front. These are going to be long injuries, and also just the style of game and where they're at with their game when they get over there. All right, Jerry, what else do you have?
With Burrow and Lamar out of the picture, it's become very clear a non-Big Four QB will win the MVP this season.
All right, so the big four are Burrow, Lamar, Mahomes, Allen. Now, Mahomes and Allen are still playing, but Jerry thinks they ain't winning the MVP this year. So someone outside of those big four is going to win at the NFL this year.
I'm going to go 75% because you watch, like, you just go through Twitter and you see the clips on any show, any podcast. The word Baker Mayfield is popping up a lot.
Yeah, it is. He's
Like
getting a lot
today,
of love.
TJ Watt was just like, or JJ Watt was like, Baker Mayfield's my guy. He's going to win the. And it's just, it. You know what it's like? It builds momentum, man. And I think Baker, he might be the guy. If they continue to win and he does the job, he's getting recognition where everybody. You need everybody to kind of get on board to kind of force your hand. We're like, oh, everybody says this guy's the MVP. And so far, he's been getting it. So I think somebody outside of those guys will do it.
I'm lower on this, but I agree. Like, it is a PR train people get on. But I'm not counting out Josh Allen. And I'm not, like this guy.
Mahomes is still there,
Same thing with Mahomes. Like, I'm not counting those two out because they're that good. And if you look at Allen after 2 subpar efforts in Buffalo, and if he decides to rattle off, 8 wins in a row and just dominate like he did in the first 4 games, that's MVP.
He'll win
for
it.
me.
Yes, I agree with you. Allen still scares me. Mahomes is now in the hunt, and now it's becoming this wow, they're so resilient story. And if he puts up numbers and guys get healthy like Rashee Rice and others.
Right.
But Baker's in it. Danny Dimes is kind of lurking in the conversation.
Danny Dimes, eh?
I saw something today. I guess he was mic'd up for his last game, and he literally said nothing. And the Colts did a great job. They posted it and kind of emphasized the fact that the guy said nothing.
What do you mean said nothing?
Like, just played.
You could hear him breathe. That's it.
There's nothing there. Danny Dimes is out there just playing. And everyone else is rah-rah and talking over things, and Danny's just kind of sitting there nodding his head. But yeah, there's it. I'm going to say 49% because Allen's still there, Mahomes is there, but it's a long season, man. It's still October, right? Baker's been great. I've loved that story of Aaron Rodgers has been good. There's other guys that have been very good. Drake May is putting his hand up a little bit. Been great in New England. There's some really good stories right now, but the 2 big dogs are the big dogs for a reason, and you got to keep going through November and December, and they know how to do that, and that's what makes it challenging.
And Hayes, as far as getting the recognition and people talking about you in the media, it's like if Allen, his pump up tweets, it's times 10 compared to what Baker's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or Mahomes. It's like their pump ups, or it's just magnified where people will just forget about Baker. It's that guy now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're so good and they're so beloved that
everything's on steroids as far as the recognition.
To the point where there'll be some voters that'll say, I can't give it to Baker. Look at this guy. It's Josh Allen. Look what he's doing. Or Patrick Mahomes. Or whatever. All right, Jerry, what else you got?
I see the blue and white disease is alive and well surrounding Easton Cowan. But Jerry thinks it's going to stick because he won't play 1 game for the Marlies this season.
It's a bold take from Geraldo. Very bold.
Not 1 game for the Marlies.
1 game for the Marlies for Easton Cowan.
Man. I'm going to have to just base this off of what I've seen him do. And I'm going to say 80%. That's all I can base it off of. He doesn't look like an AHL player. So I'm going to say 80% he doesn't play for the Marlies. Until he shows me something else, and it could fade, I'll change my percentage. But through 2, I'm giving him 80%. He sticks with the big club.
I'm 41%.
Okay.
I knew it was coming.
All right. That's kind of in the middle, though.
It is.
There's some indecisiveness there.
Here's why, though. Tree has been talking about acquiring a top 6 forward. If he ends up acquiring one, that pushes everybody down, right? And if he gets pushed down, it comes back to the conversation we had right at 4 o'clock, saying if he plays 8 minutes, and doesn't do much, it's a learning curve for him. He might spend a weekend with the Marlies just getting some reps if Lorentz comes back and there's other players moving around and all of that type of stuff. There's no guarantee. Right now, it looks great, and I would say 100% just based on what I've seen in 2 games. But it's 2 games against teams that weren't playoff teams. We'll see what the next step is when you play some of the big boys and if he holds up. That's my thing. It's a long season for him.
Yep.
That's the only reason why.
Well, and he's played 2 home games. He hasn't even played a road game yet.
Right. Matchups, all of that.
You're right. There's a lot that he has to continue to prove. But
Markers, yeah.
Nick Robertson, I don't know if he's going to be here long term.
Right.
Is Cal Yarncroke going to stay healthy? That's another element to it. It may be a scenario where, yes, he moves down, but if they don't have other options, he's going to keep playing. So I'm going to say 55%. I'm just into the majority. 55% 5. Like Craig Berube pumping his tires, and again, he's not 18. Like he can go down to the minors, no waivers, that's fine.
Right.
But 20-year-olds play in the league. Like they do play in the league.
They're allowed to be good too.
Yeah, they're allowed to play, and they're allowed to continue to prove that they should play. So it's been a good start so far. All right, Little Jerry's After Dark still to come. Ray Ferraro coming up in 20. We got Tim Kirkjian live from Seattle ahead of Game 3 tonight, and our best bets coming up. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on YouTube Live.
Don't sweat the technique.
I think old Tua Tagovailoa had some teammates want to stuff him into a garbage can. He had an announcement today. I shouldn't have said what I said. And maybe it's not that bad, and we just need to get better.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone backtracking comments like that. It's like it's either happening or not.
It's such a disaster in Miami. The Tyreek Hill stuff from last year, where then he had to backpedal. Remember, that's all they do is backpedal in Miami. Hill said, "I'm out, done, can't do this anymore." And then all of a sudden, "Nah, I didn't mean it. Just joking around. I want to be a Dolphin." And Tua calling people out for being late to meetings or just no-showing meetings, and now that was a misunderstanding.
No, it either happened or it didn't.
Yeah, and it happened.
Exactly.
It happened, but now he's being told, "Can you shut up? You know how much money we paid you, and you don't win anything?" And it's just.
I would love it if
vibe.
it came out that he was one of the guys that didn't show up. That would be so Miami Dolphins if he ratted himself out.
Right.
Like one of his teammates say, "Well, he should know that he's one of them."
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That wouldn't shock me at all.
No.
It wouldn't shock me at all. There's just weird stuff going on, and when you lose, it gets really strange and weird.
Well, they point fingers. That's what it is. You start pointing fingers. The coach can't survive there, though.
No chance.
He can't survive.
No chance. And that is when you realize who's been through it, who's got what it takes to get to the other side of it. When you start losing, and it's happening in Arizona, this Jonathan Gannon character, who was the one who grabbed the player who dropped the ball before the end zone, before the touchdown.
Slapped him, I think. Slapped him on the chest or something.
Yeah, and it was bad. It was a bad look, like really, really bad look. And he had to, I think he got fined, and he took a lot of heat for that. And he was asked today, he was getting asked about, emotions in the game and injuries and dealing with that. And again, the Cardinals have lost 4 straight. They're 2-0 to start the year. They've lost 4 straight. And they're in the NFC West.